Live, local. This is Good Day Oregon Plus.
Hello, everyone. This is Good Day Oregon Plus. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We are live streaming here, of course, right after Good Day Oregon. We're going to be going here throughout the hour, but I wanted to start this off by taking a look at some of our weather cameras around. And that right there is our seaside camera. And as you can see, definitely some water falling onto that. It almost looks like there is another river that has formed on the beach there. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but definitely they got soaked yesterday. We were talking about before how yesterday the 101 was partially closed, and so that's taking a look there, seeing that drying out just a little bit more. And now we've got here, taking a look here at our Willamette Valley Vineyards camera. They're in the Willamette Valley, and you can see a little bit of wind blowing on that one. I love starting this off here, though, just giving you a look. And one of the big things, of course, is that ski bowl, our ski bowl camera there, taking a look at Mount Hood. And that's one of the issues that we're going to be talking about here today, is the fact that, as you can see, there's no snow on there. And we're going to talk to Katie Zuniga is going to be joining us here at some point to talk about that and just kind of get through and let us know, what to expect on there. But with this Pineapple Express atmospheric river, there just wasn't a lot. Even what did come through actually, unfortunately, melted some of that snow. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. Just wanted to, again, say hi. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Good Day Oregon Plus. So we appreciate everybody who's joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday starting at 11 a.m. And we've got a little bit left here of our first alert weather day over these last couple of days, of course, covering all of this that has been happening. And one of the big areas that was really affected by this was over on the coast. And we did see some coastal flooding. And I want to just catch you up on some of that right now. I believe we've got a segment here just talking about that over there in Tillamook and some of the other places on the coast where you did see these big, massive amounts of water. So let's go ahead and do this, and we'll be joined by Katie here in just a few.
Weather day is still in effect, as we mentioned, for the Oregon coast because of active river flood warnings.
Fox 12's Mackenzie Richmond joins us now from Tillamook County, where there is still some flooding this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, the biggest impact right now that I'm feeling standing out here in the elements is actually those wind gusts coming in. They could be as high as more than 20 miles per hour, but consistently I am still feeling wind. You might be able to even see it around me, moving some things around. And it is still misting, but the biggest issue that people are going to see on the roads right now is some minor puddling still. Not too much here on this road that we're standing on at this time downtown Tillamook. You can see maybe a few inches of water right there, maybe even less than that. Now, this morning, as we were driving into Tillamook County, while we did notice that Highway 101 and 6 were still closed in some parts due to flooding. Now, it does look like most parts have appeared to open back up, but overall right now, water levels are down from yesterday morning when people at the Neskowin Creek RV Park actually woke up to water up to their knees. Our crew spoke with Craig Loney, who just got his trailer a week ago. So it was a rude awakening Tuesday morning when he opened his trailer door to find water up past his tires. Not sure what to do, Loney frantically called his son Ian for help, and Ian showed up immediately with his friend Jaden.
Yeah, we got here and it's actually 2 feet. And I was kind of asking Ian, like, do you really need my help? And he was like, yes, get over here, dude. It's up to the trailer.
Now together they moved Craig's trailer out of the flood water and actually up a hill, though the water unfortunately did sweep away Loney's fire pit, but his trailer is okay. Then after helping him, Ian, Jaden, and then their other friend Malachi then went door to door in the RV park to warn others and help any way they could. Now you may notice in the video the three boys are matching in the red hoodies. Well, that's no coincidence. Those sweatshirts are actually from the business the three of them run together, the Neighborhood Kids Lawn Care Plus. So they're used to helping out in the community. And during Tuesday's storm, they checked on homes across Neskowin, customers or not. Loney says he's just grateful for the help of the neighborhood kids, including, of course, his son. Now, back here live in Tillamook County, again, you can see the puddling that we are seeing in certain portions of the road around Tillamook. Now, it is important to kind of be cautious, drive a little slower than you normally would, as the rain is still coming down here, misting right now. So just use caution as you are on the road. But for now, reporting live at Mackenzie Richmond for Good Day Oregon.
All right, there was Mackenzie Richmond, of course, over there on the coast where we did see so much flooding. And Tillamook is where she was at for a lot of that. But yeah, we saw a lot of that yesterday.
And I have some numbers for you. I actually spent the morning crunching numbers and getting everything together because, as I promised yesterday, we would do a recap on what we've had the last 3 days.
Yeah.
This right here is a live look from Seaside. So we still do have our first alert weather day, but it's just for the coast.
Okay.
Okay, so we backed everything off of the metro and valleys. As if you've been outside right now or anywhere here in the metro valleys or through the gorge or up at the mountain, it is so warm. It is 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And there's even some sun breaks that are coming through in some areas. You can see that sun trying to peek through. But at the coast, we are still seeing, good gusty winds. I think 35 miles per hour I was seeing earlier. And the rain hasn't quite stopped there, although it's been very light. It's still been coming down. Not expecting that to renew any flood stages in the rivers, but those are still on watch. And it's going to be very slow to drain. Leftover high waters, we talked about this yesterday, still having a hard time for things to kind of, recoup from all of the rain that we've had, but it is improving. That's the important part. It's not all clear, but we are improving. So we're keeping that for right now. We'll be watching those conditions and we'll let you know when the all clear happens for the coast. And then for there today, you look at that. Temperatures getting into the upper 50s, low 60s.
That is so warm.
It's very, very warm. And then gusting up to 40 miles per hour, which I have seen that at least 35 miles per hour so far with those winds there along the coast. So keep that in mind. Definitely some of the areas across the coast range have been very wet, but not actively raining. Here you'll look at the radar, and this is where the atmospheric river, it's shifted to the north, and it is basically giving, not us, but I'm gonna do a little live action here and bring us up.
Wow.
So there you go. So that's now where that action is happening. So that's what we were getting yesterday and the day before
And
is
they're
now
getting hit with
up.
all of that up
Yep.
there.
North towards Seattle and even getting into some areas in Vancouver. So, so that's pretty wet up there. Yesterday, Tillamook didn't see as much as it did the day before. You remember we got together and it was about 3.5 inches that it got on Monday.
Right.
Right. So yesterday it got 2, but then you flip and you go into the metro and valleys, and we got more yesterday than we did the day before. And Hood River, and even out in Pendleton, we were watching the radar together.
That's right.
And we saw there was a bunch happening out there. So about the same as what we had in Hood River, is about 8/10, almost 9/10 of an inch. And then all the way over Baker City, they actually got a little there at 1/4 inch. But Central Oregon in that rain shadow, down toward Burns, even John Day, not too much.
Wow.
The Grand 66.66. So they still had some activity on their side, but just not the soaking rain that we did. And then here's the rain yesterday just within the metro, down in UC Hillsborough, almost 1.25 inches, Troutdale a little more than 1.5 inches, and then a little less to the north this time. But the day before, it was more to the north. And then yesterday, as it sort of shifted down, and then now it's shifting back up. So
It's
there's
just running its way up and down the coast.
Yes, exactly. Now, today, here's the difference. Only 1/100 of an inch or so, Portland, Hood River, 2/10 there, Tillamook, a little less toward Kelso. And then if you look up, I wonder if I can, I'm actually going to see if I can do that again. Is that going to work?
We're going to find out.
Oh, there we
here.
go. Hey, it did.
Hey, look at that.
Look at this. This is the technology on its own.
Yeah.
So there we
It's
go.
happening.
Yeah, Port Angeles is at 1 inch for today so far. And then you can see a little more than that out at the coast. So we have a lot of active weather to our north. And then if you go down towards Salem, Aurora, Troutdale, out in Hood River, just, Hillsborough, nothing.
Yeah, just drying out.
Yep, just drying out. So that's why we're moving into the all clear for the metro and the valleys. There's your total for 10 days, which is technically 6 because we don't count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 if you count today, I guess, even though we have 1/100 of an inch. That's quite the soaker of a 2-day.
Yeah, that is a lot through there, and this is
this
just
is
so far in December, and all of that really. Well, I'm sure we'll get into this as far as the mountains and that, but I mean, this has all been pretty much rain.
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a snow level or freeze level or anything that's even been close to timberline. I think it's been more than 6,000 feet, basically, since the very last time we got a few sprinkles up there, which was a while ago.
So, yeah.
Well before Thanksgiving. Yeah,
So, quite a while.
It's been a bit. So here we are. This is my rain totals I brought in for you. I pulled it in from Sunday just so I could make sure I got any sprinkles that started maybe late Sunday night. There's the Tillamook Airport, 6.5. So that Crown Camp, that is the closest spot that I had where I could pull a number from to Seaside.
Okay.
Now it's up in the hills, you know, it's starting to
Yeah.
go up the range there a bit, but it is in a place where it could have the runoff and impact
Gotcha.
in Seaside. So that was the closest I could get to there. Obviously, you know, the Portland Airport, Salem Airport, you know, 2 1/3, not too bad.
Yeah.
And then up at Mount Hood Meadows,
Yeah,
almost,
which
a little more, 9 inches.
All rain.
All rain.
I mean,
That's-
imagine how great that would have been if that were snow, but that's, yeah, that's one of those big things. that-
Yep, just a bit
that
too
we're
warm.
certainly
So
talking
that answers your question about
Yeah.
how much was up there. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Meadows got 9 inches of rain, pure snowmelt. All right, looking ahead. So everything stays to the north. We get to tomorrow morning. It looks like there might be a few showers that dip down onto us, but it's all north coast, northeast metro, southwest Washington, valleys, maybe a little into the gorge, but just not much. And then after that, it dries out, and we're all the way through early Saturday morning. And it does look right now like likely Saturday and Sunday are going to be dry. So we get through Friday, 12 a.m., and there you have potentials for that. And then if you move this on, you get nothing else. It goes away as we head into Friday night.
All right, so dry weekend.
Dry weekend all the way through, maybe some showers. Oh, I was going to see. So we still have some local rivers that we're watching. That's right, I was going to make sure you guys got to see this. So there's one toward Kelso. Down there's Aurora. These are the areas that are just the rivers that are still being watched.
Yeah, I've got a friend up on the Cowlitz, and there's a lot of water on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So here
It is
are our warmest
flooding.
December days back to 2017. We hit 60 degrees this morning, which went up from when I came in. That's not normal. Normally, your coolest, coldest part of the day, your low temperature is right before sunrise. And we just started warming right up
It's
because
so
of
warm.
it is. And I have an explainer for you for that here in a moment.
Fantastic.
So I'll tease you ahead in a few graphics.
Okay.
But you'll notice that there's only a couple of years here, so 17, 18, 19, and 22. So about half the recent years didn't make it as warm as we are right now. We're tied with last year, and then 20 and 21 are just a few degrees warmer. It's pretty warm in 23.
That's a lot of warm days in history, though,
Yep.
over the last several years.
Yeah, it's December's been pretty warm, and I think I told you this yesterday. Our average right now is 46, and we stay well above that all the way through the start of next week. And Monday, Tuesday, it does look like it's right now. It looks like it's going to rain. Of course, we'll adjust that as we get closer, but it's not. Again, it's warm rain.
Warm rain, yeah, is like atmospheric river rain.
Well, it's we're watching. It's how
Okay.
it's moving. And then here are the cool. We should be at 38 right now. The closest we get to that is Sunday. Wow. 44. And I will say with all of these warm days, none of these break records. Like our coldest are in the 20s.
Okay.
Our warmest are typically in the low 60s. The farther into the month we get, the high is more in the 50s. So the high for today, we're expecting it to be, we are right at the record right now. So if we get a degree or two warmer, then we will break it.
Do you think we will?
I don't think it's going to warm up too much, but a degree is easy to you
Yeah.
know, anything 2 to 3 degrees, you know, there's a grace
Doesn't take a
in there.
lot.
It doesn't take a lot. Yeah, there could just be a little warm gust that comes through and briefly pops the gauge up for just enough time for it to register, then it drops right back down.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an extended period of time where we could be at 61 or 62. So, but right at that. And then overnight, no, we're close. All of them are the warm overnight temperatures. It's just too warm. We've had other warmer times, so we're not in this super record-breaking era, but it's still warmer than it should be. Okay, so here it is, satellite imagery. See all of that cloud cover that's being funneled up. There's your Pineapple Express shifting to the north, and then where that big H is, that's the high pressure that's kind of pushing and lifting that up. So we are sitting in what's known as the warm sector. You have the high pressure on the south side of the pineapple, and you have the low pressure to the north.
Okay.
High pressure is the bully of the system, so it tells everything where and go and what to do. So it's shifting up. So we're getting into the warmer air, which is why we're seeing things so warm.
Okay.
And it's getting pushed up into more of Washington and Canada. So that ridge of high pressure is just lingering, was off to the just offshore, shifts just a bit. So that main jet stream, though, this is through Saturday, still stays to our north through this weekend. And then we saw the maybe, so this is the end of the day on Sunday. Maybe it breaks down and lets a little cooler air in. So that takes us through Thursday the 18th. But
Okay.
at this point, that's still not Arctic blast, lowland snow, anything like that.
Even mountain snow.
There would be, last check, nothing was expected through the 18th. If anything, it would be a dusting, but it wouldn't be, let's go sledding.
Wow.
Let's go skiing, let's go snowboarding. It's not,
Yeah. I think they're
not
away from
quite that yet. So here we are with their 7-day forecast.
Oh, I did want to say just really quick too for
Yeah.
anybody who's watching live, if you do have questions for Katie, you can put those in there and I'll monitor that.
Yeah. Oh, and there was something, somebody made a comment after we were done yesterday about, Tillamook County being a low-lying area, and it's, common and all that. And that was, I wanted to address that, as that's exactly why we have these first alert days, because of
Yeah.
those low-lying areas are prone to the flooding. So we want you to know that this is enough rain in such a short amount of time that those people in those areas, that's why we're talking about sandbags. And
Yeah.
if you're near a river or stream or something that's prone to flooding, you need to be ready, because,
That can happen.
that can happen, as we saw.
Yeah.
As we saw over the last couple of days. So I don't expect that the first alert is going to stay on much longer, because everything's pretty light and
Okay.
light forward at the coast. But still, just even if we pull that off, we know there's still lots of water over there. There's still areas that are still flooded. It takes a bit for the water to recede. Be ready for that. Light showers definitely tomorrow, likely gray and just a little cooler into the weekend. And then we're watching for those showers to start again on Monday. But I expect this will, Monday, Tuesday, that's far enough out where you need to be ready for that to change.
Okay.
Today, tomorrow, maybe even Friday, there'll be slight changes, if at all, but for sure Monday, Tuesday, the timing of this, can shift pretty quickly.
And when we're talking about that, just out of curiosity, for the Monday or Tuesday thing, and which clearly, we're far out, so we're watching that. How close do we get before you get a better idea of whether this is going to?
So, well, it depends on what's going on. So, like with this Pineapple Express that came, originally it looked like it was going to be closer to like a Thursday, Friday. And then it just took one day for it to shift, and it's coming in Monday, Tuesday. And so you have to, I would say, anything more than 2 days out, don't be surprised if it changes.
Yeah.
Today and tomorrow, when you get into the higher resolution models, the things that can really get a little closer and a little more detail, it doesn't change much. You might change the amount of rain by a little, you might change the temperature by a degree or two, but usually the next 2 to 3 days stay pretty set once we get that far out. And then once you get to that 6 to 7 days out, we'll change it. It won't stay that way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this weekend we'll know a little bit more.
Yes,
or a lot more.
exactly. So of course I have to make sure you all have the ability to get to the Fox 12 Weather app. We have been doing updates through all of this. I just did one this morning as we were seeing the rain and the winds at the coast, and gave updated rain totals as things were finally starting to slow down. And I know Mark and the team tonight will be on it with their updates and full forecast, things like that. So if you don't have it yet, please, we'll keep you updated. I'll tell you again, I'll remind you over and over, we do it ourselves. This is Fox 12 Weather app is our team of meteorologists putting the forecast together, making your video forecasts. It's us on there doing the work for you. So you get live updates from us 3-4 times a day if you want them.
Which is great. Yeah, here doing that, or Mark at home typing stuff in, sending you stuff yesterday.
That happened yesterday. That happened to me yesterday.
So whatever it may be, you're going to get the most accurate information possible to let people know. And as you mentioned, that's why those first alert days are important for those areas where this is really going to affect somebody. I mean, for others, like at my house, like I was okay. If I were over there in Tillamook, that would have been a big issue, and I would really want to know
Or
about
if you were in West Lynn where the
West
tree
Lynn,
came
where
down,
the tree
or
came down.
Seaside where the roads were flooded, and 101 there was some slides. I mean, there were places that are prone to that, and we saw it coming.
Yeah, so great. Well, Katie, thank you, as always, for coming over here and joining us, and just, the extended breakdown and really, helping explain this all out a little bit more. I always love it. And thanks to everybody who's watching as well. So this is Good Day Oregon Plus. So we're here every weekday at 11 a.m. and we'll be talking about whatever the big stories are that we're covering. And we'll also catch you up on some of the other things as well. So that's what's going to happen if you're watching on the website or the apps. That's one of the best ways to watch this show, just like Katie mentioned with the Fox 12 Weather app, the Fox 12 Oregon app. You can live stream, you can watch after the fact, so lots of options there. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see this end. Good time to go download the app and then join us right back here. And if there's breaking news between now and noon, I'll have that as well. But we'll take a quick break for everybody watching, and we'll be back here in just a bit with more Good Day Oregon Plus.